is a beautiful thing to express our emotions, and especially the darkest of emotions. It's safe to say that art is the most beautiful thing in the world, and the most beautiful things in the world are usually art. Art is perhaps the only way to describe dark emotions without judgment. I am thinking of a poem I heard by Sarah Kay that went like this. It said, I'm so excited to read this. If you grow up the type of woman men want to look at, you can let them look at you. Do not mistake eyes for hands or windows or mirrors. Let them see what a woman looks like. They may not have seen one before. If you grow up the type of woman men want to touch, you can let them touch you. Sometimes it is not you they are searching for. Sometimes it is a bottle, a door, a sandwich, a Pulitzer, another woman. But their hands found you first. Do not mistake yourself for a guardian, or a muse, or a promise, or a victim, or a snack. You are a woman, skin and bones, veins and nerves, hair and sweat. You are not made of metaphors, not apologies, not excuses. If you grow up the type of woman men want to hold, you can let them hold you. All day they practice keeping their bodies upright, even after all this evolving. It still feels unnatural. Still pulls tight the muscles, strains the arms and spine. Only some men want to learn what it feels like to wrap themselves into a question mark around you, admit that they do not have the answers they thought they would have by now. Some men will want to hold you like the answer. You are not the answer. You are not the problem. This is only half the poem, but when I heard this, I was so excited. I was, wow. Imagine if somebody said to their friend, and I believe she wrote this poem for a friend that was in a very unhealthy relationship. So imagine if your friend came up to you and said, I don't think you should sell yourself short. Don't be with a man that's not appreciating you, or, have your own identity. Just because some men give you attention Doesn't mean they want you. It just, I don't think anybody, I wouldn't understand it as much if it wasn't for the poem. And where is the judgment in that? There is no judgment. A painting, a movie can express things or tell you things, teach you lessons without any judgment for your need or our need to hear this advice. You can look at this poem, and if she said it in plain words, it can be, sometimes we do things that we don't have the answers for, that we know are not right, and then we do them anyway because that is where we are drawn. And art puts a pin in that, in what we need to focus on, which I think is so important. If you've heard Labyrinth, his song that is called Jealous, I'm like, what? The vulnerability, what a beautiful way of expressing an emotion that I think is very common. A lot of people feel this, but we don't say it because, we are afraid of feeling judged. And if you say it in plain words, it probably would be very attractive to judgments. An art is a form where you can say anything, really. Anything that you've done bad, any emotions that are not just are shameful, and things that we are not supposed to, like, sometimes there are not enough words to explain what you mean. And just like the colors in a painting, or just a scream in a song, it gets it. And you're like, yeah, wow, like I am understood. And I love that. I love that. I aspire to that. I've always wanted, or I've always been attracted to expressing emotions in that way. I've always had like professions, but I've always really liked expressing. And I think that is the only constant in my life. As a society, we want to put labels on everything, and as children, we are asked, like, what do you want to be when you grow up? And you have to assign like a kind of identity, at least till you get another one, and then you can switch. And then they're like, oh wow, future astronaut, or wow, future blah blah. And then you grow up and maybe you do that or you change it, but you always have to have an identity. And when I got that question, I'm like, I've always been like in the middle. I did not know what the right answer was, because an artist, it does not seem like the right thing to say. I don't think I even knew if that was like a profession or a possible choice. It's like I've always said, like, none of the above, I think. But now, like, I've always been like super focused on my emotions, and I've always liked finding creative ways to express them. Creative as in clear. Um, Sometimes you don't have words for it, so like what colors or what kind of expressions can I find to to show what I feel? As in, I would write letters to people to let them know like how I feel about them, or I would paint a picture to let them know like how I see them or what I notice about them. And that has always made me happy. I think it makes other people happy too, but I do it like more more for me. But I also like have this need like to do it, to have like full expression, to have like a satisfied life. But I'm just like sitting now thinking, maybe this quote unquote artistry, being like identifying with being an artist, or not just identifying, like being, like focusing so much on emotions and expressing them, it is also a dangerous thing. While like creativity can be amazing. And just to be clear, creativity is like finding new ways to solve a problem. And it is part of being an artist, but an artist is more about expressing, while you can be creative in any kind of way, not just a job, but like you can be creative in how you solve a certain IKEA furniture assembly problem, you know? And I think that is a good skill in all professions. It is a very important skill. It is also rewarded in capitalism. Like you can find new solutions and you can find like new ways to sell those things, and you can be commercially successful. But being an artist is a dangerous thing if you do not have balance. And I say this because of 2 points. One is because it attracts suffering, because you want to feel more. I think about, say you are in a healthy marriage and you're an actor, which is an artistic job, and you're playing, say, a psychopath, and you cannot be a good actor and play like with a completely different identity than to yourself. Like to play whatever character it is, you have to get into their mental state, whatever kind of mental issues they're having or thinking patterns they have. You have to, like, deep inside you, feel it so that you can act it out. And I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but I cannot imagine any way where non-psychopath or a normal being who goes home and has a healthy family life and goes to work and does a very good acting of some mentally unhealthy being. Like, that does not, I don't think that. What I'm saying is you will have to sacrifice your personal life for your art, to suffer a little bit for your art. And I think that's then detrimental and kind of certain to lead to unhealthy life, unhappy life, but you cannot do it any other way. So I'm like, no, I don't know how to feel about that. The second point, why being an artist is dangerous, is that you have to focus on your emotions. Sometimes you have to be in your head and say, what is my goal and what do I need to achieve, what are the steps, and do them accordingly. But if you are too much on the other side, on your emotions, you cannot do that. You can hire people, hire assistants, agents, managers to kind of do the rest of the stuff for you, so that you can only focus on creating. But for a lot of people, it is not an option. It is not only not an option, but even if like you manage to hire people for your professional life, still for your private life, you're still gonna have problems with not doing things according to the plan if you are too open, too much of an artist, too much of creative, but creative in your being. Because doing and being are two different energies. Those are the yin and yang, the masculine and feminine energies, which we all have. Some of us are way on one side than the other. And I think some people think it depends on like your looks, but no, you can be a beautiful woman and you can be like very masculine energy, all about doing and all about the rules and in your head, and not really focus on your um feelings or the energies in your body. Or you can be like a successful James Bond man and you can be all about your art and creating and following your energies and expressing, it doesn't depend on your looks. It is more energy and something that you get a feeling of when you know a person. Feminine energy is more about being in the moment and accepting and waiting, longing. It is about expressing. And masculine energy is about making these things happen. It is deciding what the goal is and doing that, choosing the direction and going that way. In her new book, Bittersweet, Susan Cain said, I love you is more masculine energy, and I'm waiting for you is the feminine equivalent of that. I think like I know what she means. I don't know if it's like her idea but I know what she means. And my theory is too much in either side is very bad. If you're too much in your body, too much focused on emotions, then you will lack structure and you'll be highly gravitating towards chaos, because that is where the emotions are. And then it will be like all about expressing those emotions. And if you are too much in your masculine side, you'll be like too much in your head, too much about solving problems. And sometimes you see people solving big problems, countries' problems, and finding this big solutions, but they cannot be in one place without any problems to solve for a long time, because that would mean sitting like with the emotions that might come up that they might notice, and worst of all, there's nothing to do, like no solutions. And masculine energy is very bad with like accepting sadness, accepting emotions as they are, not fixing. And this could be us all our lives long on one side and then the other, or it can be in one stage of life that we are more gravitated to one area and then we'll have mental breakdowns and we are all like on the other. And I was wondering like where you are in your life according to those energies in this spectrum. Are you more not noticing how you feel and just like doing and solving? Or are you like more about feeling and expressing and not really good at structure or not having a good routine or doing things according to a plan? I am, if you're wondering, I am currently in my bed and the time is 3:35 a.m. in the morning. I don't know if it matters if I stayed up all night or if I am awake really early. We can all agree that it is definitely the wrong time to be awake. I tried to sleep, but I was thinking about, everything that I told you so far. And I was just thinking that I need more structure and to do things like according to a plan. I just wanted to come on here and talk about that a little bit, like a true self-expresser I am. And with that, I end the podcast. And if you're sleeping or about to sleep, as I am, then I wish you a good night. Or if not, I wish you good time, wherever you are. And till next time.